Anne was a 19-year-old girl. She had gone on a sea trip with a few friends. They laughed, cheered, and enjoyed the calm breeze as their boat floated across the sparkling water. Above them, the sun shone bright and seagulls soared high. Everything felt safe. Everything felt perfect. But then the weather changed. Dark clouds gathered, winds howled, and the sea turned violent. Waves rose higher and higher, rocking the boat like a toy. Anne and her friends screamed, clinging to each other, but their cries were drowned by the roar of the storm. A monstrous wave struck, smashing the boat into pieces. When Anne opened her eyes, she found herself lying on the sand of a deserted island. Broken planks from the boat lay scattered around her, but her friends were nowhere to be seen. The vast sea stretched endlessly in front of her, and behind her stood a dense, frightening jungle. She was alone. Anne knew she had only one choice: to survive. She gathered broken wooden planks and palm leaves and built herself a large hut, big enough to live inside, to protect her from the cold and rain. Days turned into weeks. She searched the jungle for food and water. At night, she sat by a small fire outside her hut, staring at the stars. But every night brought new fear. Strange whispers, footsteps in the dark, branches moving without wind. Anne trembled inside her hut, her heart telling her she was not alone. One morning, exploring deeper into the jungle, Anne discovered something chilling. An old, abandoned campsite. A broken tent, rusty pots, torn bags, and empty bottles lay scattered. In the dirt, she found a half-buried diary. Its pages, though faded, told the story of a boy stranded on this very island 7 years ago. He wrote about waiting for rescue, missing his family, and hearing strange noises in the jungle, the same noises Anne heard now. The diary ended abruptly, as if something terrible had happened. Fear grew inside her. Was the boy still alive somewhere, or had he vanished like her friends? As weeks passed, Anne's health weakened. Fever and headaches struck her, her body trembling and frail, yet she refused to give up. She repaired her hut with shaking hands, gathered fruit, and whispered to herself, "I must survive." One day, she found something buried in the sand, an old, broken phone. It had no signal, but on its cracked screen were saved messages. Someone had once pleaded for help, promising that rescue was coming soon, but then the messages stopped, unfinished. Anne's heart pounded. Was this the same boy's phone? If rescue was coming, why had no one arrived? Years slipped away. Anne built a giant SOS sign on the beach, hoping that one day a plane or ship would see it. Every morning, she looked at the horizon with hope. Every night, she felt despair when no one came. 7 years passed. Anne was no longer the carefree girl who once laughed with her friends on the boat. She had become stronger, scarred by loneliness, a survivor. Then one day, she saw it, a boat far on the horizon. Her heart leapt. She lit a pile of dry wood, smoke rising into the sky. She waved, screamed, poured all her hope into that moment. The boat saw her signal and came ashore. For the first time in 7 years, she was not alone. Anne was rescued. She was taken back to the city, weak but alive. But when officials checked the records, confusion filled the air. There was no missing girl named Anne. No family had reported her disappearance, no record of her friends or her vanished boat trip. It was as if none of it had ever happened. Anne sat in silence, trembling. Had she really lived through those 7 years? Or had her mind created it all? Was it survival or just a nightmare? Her memories were vivid: the storm, the hut, the diary, the whispers, the endless wait. But the world insisted they never existed, and so Anne's story remained an unsolved mystery. Was she truly stranded on that island, or was it all just an illusion? No one knew the answer, not even Anne herself.